Welcome to Camnet TV Main News. I am Precious Mzea. Sakaleji, the headlines. KAMBWILI books a night behind bars. UPND members warned against reporting cases to the police without the party's consent. Zambia's Republican President HAKAINDE HICHILEMA re-echoes his stance on unity. In international news, Belgium hands over casket with last remains of slain Congolese leader Patrice Lumumba. And in sports, Zambian international chess master GILLIAN BWALYA confident of bringing medals from the Commonwealth Games. Join me with the details after this commercial.
On Monday, 20th June 2022, on National Matters, join Pastor Moses Chiluba as he hosts Honorable Elvis Nkandu, Minister of Youth, Sport and Arts. Don't miss as they discuss UPND 10 months of being in power.
As government through the ministry, we have demanded for a report from the service provider and we need a refund and underline, because as we are not wasted and the payment for expenses suffered.
Invite others to participate through phoning, on Skype, Zoom, WhatsApp and text messages.
On TSTV channel 274, GoTV channel 98 and Topstar channel 106.
Make a date with us. Camnet TV, not just another channel. And other news in detail. Police have arrested a father and son in connection with the death of a mobile money agent identified as Emmanuel Nyirenda, who was found dead in Katete district. Police deputy spokesperson Danny Mwale has named the suspects as 51-year-old Charles Piri and 27-year-old Joseph Chipepo Piri, both of Chipata district in Eastern Province. Mr. Mwale says the deceased was reported missing on the 10th of June 2022 at around 14 hours and that his body was found. Patriotic Front presidential hopeful Chishimba KAMBWILI has been detained by police in Lusaka for allegedly expressing words of hatred, ridicule and contempt based on the tribe and origin of people from Southern Province at Radio Mano last year. And addressing the media after the matter, a police deputy spokesperson Danny Mwale says Dr. KAMBWILI remains detained in police custody and yet to be charged. And Mr. KAMBWILI's lawyer Tutu Angolube said his client will be reported to Kasama, where he is alleged to have uttered the tribal remarks. He has since described the detention of Dr. KAMBWILI as an abuse of the law.
Police in Lusaka have Monday 20th June 2022 issued a warn and caution to former lawmaker for Wrong constituency Chishimba KAMBWILI, 53 of Lusaka's Woodlands area for offense of expressing words deemed to cause hatred, ridicule and contempt among persons of a particular tribe and origin. It is alleged that on dates unknown, but between May of 2021 and August of the same year, the alleged suspect, Mr. KAMBWILI, uttered words that expressed hatreds towards people from Southern Province and the President. Speaking when addressing the media, police deputy spokesperson Danny Mwale confirmed the detention of Mr. KAMBWILI at Skawata police station pending transfer to Kasama on the Northern Province for issuance of a formal charge.
Police have warned and cautioned Dr. Chishimba KAMBWILI, aged 53, of Woodlands in Lusaka, for the subject offense of expressing or showing hatred, ridicule or contempt for persons.
Patriotic Front presidential aspirant Emmanuel Mwamba has appealed to President HAKAINDE HICHILEMA to not use the law as a tool to oppress the opposition, adding that transferring KAMBWILI to Kasama when the complaint was issued in Lusaka proves that the president is playing double standards.
If you look at the case of Honorable Nakachinda and Mr. Chilufya Tayari, the complainants were in Solwezi and in Lukulu. So if the complainant against Dr. KAMBWILI is in Lusaka, why don't they process the case here in Lusaka?
Shame.
In his case, they are saying he should be taken to Kasama where the alleged offense took place, not where the complainant is. So you can clearly see double standards. Our appeal is to President HAKAINDE HICHILEMA. He should not allow the law to be used as a tool to oppress the opposition. to silence his critics.
This development has brought worry to some PF members who have since gathered at the police premises to show solidarity.
The freedom of speech and the freedom of everything as Zambians. And we don't want Zambia to be on fire. We want a better Zambia than what we are seeing at the moment. This time we want a president who is going to show us economy in Zambia there is hunger. A lot of things have gone bad, but let them concentrate on those better things than no. No, we are not doing the right things.
Messi Chanika reporting for Camnet TV News, Lusaka.
United Party for National Development UPND spokesperson Cornelius Mwitwa has described the newly formed political union among 12 opposition leaders as misplaced. Addressing the media Monday, Mr. Mwitwa says none of the current opposition leaders is capable of leading the country as they are failing to offer constructive checks and balances to the current administration. He says nothing constructive can come out from a union involving the Patriotic Front members who destroyed the economy, prompting the people of Zambia to vote them out of office. And Mr. Mwitwa has attributed the current high cost of living in the country to the former Patriotic Front administration's negligence and says the UPND administration is working hard to correct the situation.
The United Party for National Development UPND administration has come under hot criticism of recent, especially from the former ruling Patriotic Front PF, for allegedly failing to bring down the high cost of living in the country and provide employment for Zambia's unemployed population, as promised during campaigns for the August 2021 general elections. UPND spokesperson Mr. Cornelius Mwitwa says the PF is not in the position to comment on such matters, as the UPND is currently laboring to correct the poor economic situation which alleges was created in the last 10 years of the PF rule. Addressing the media Monday, Mr. Mwitwa has also commented on corruption, stating that the non-conviction of PF members simply proves lack of evidence and is not proof that no corruption was committed. He has also challenged those claiming that the UPND administration is equally corrupt to provide evidence.
When the New Dawn administration took over government, the economy was growing in the negative at negative 2% GDP growth rate. And today, the economy has moved from negative 2% to 2% positive growth rate. That is progress. So, when we talk about the cost of living, let us agree that the cost of living reflects the state of the economy. And the state of the economy is one which we inherited at a time as a country could not even meet our international obligations.
Meanwhile, the UPND national spokesperson has also downplayed the unity of 12 opposition political party leaders recently, stating that Zambia currently has no strong opposition, as the current existing do not offer constructive checks and balances.
When you look at all of them opposed HH and his administration, they opposed his ascendance to power. They did not vote for him. So even when they can talk the way they are talking now, no, we should remove this government. Remove it and replace it with what? Because there's no replacement this time. Sure, can you replace the HH and New Dawn with Fred Mendy? Now, we don't know in PF whether it's the man from Mamba, Chimbagambwili, but you know Chimbagambwili already told the nation, don't go to PF. If you go back to PF, PF is poison. If you take poison, you lose your life. Persist to exist. So, what the opposition alliance can do right now is to begin to identify someone and blemish. It may take long, the way it took long for UPND to form government, but it is possible.
He has further discouraged UPND members from reporting PF members to police stations in far-flung areas, stating that all citizens should be respected regardless of political affiliation. Zipporah Mshala, Camnet News, Lusaka.
Kanchivia Member of Parliament Sunday Chanda has predicted that the led selection of fertilizer suppliers will lead to the led delivery of the farming inputs under the Farmer Input Support Program FISP for the 2022-2023 farming season. In an interview, Mr. Chanda says with only 4 months before the next farming season, a fertilizer tender should have already been secured. And the Ministry of Information and Media, in a recent press statement, indicated that the bidding process for the supply of urea and compound D fertilizer for the 2022-2023 farming season has begun, further indicating that the tender will be done through open national bidding.
Our concern is that government is already behind schedule. Government has no luxury of time on this particular matter. What this is going to do is to affect the timely distribution of farming inputs. Again, we find ourselves in the same situation as we did last year, where our farmers will be getting agricultural inputs right after or in the middle of the rain season or towards the end of the rain season. So it's again about time that the Ministry of Agriculture took farming seriously. Farming and agriculture is supposed to be a business. It must be run as a business. And when you're talking about a business, what you are saying is that time is of the essence. So you cannot, up to this point, be talking about contracts and tenders, etc. When does delivery happen? When will farmers get the agricultural input? Well, we're already in June. In the next 4 months, 3-4 months, outside of the rains will be here. And farmers would want to be secure and ensure that they've gotten the agricultural inputs in place already and in good time. But at the rate that we are going, this is not going to happen. So a clarion call, a plea to our colleagues in government and in particular Minister of Agriculture is that it is high time you started taking agriculture seriously. Agriculture is a business. Time is of the essence, and you cannot and you do not have the luxury of time, on this particular matter.
Residents of Kampasa area in Chongwe constituency have lamented that despite having reported the land wrangle issue in the area where a named minister has been accused of being behind the saga, no help has come through. Lamenting to the media Monday morning, the residents say it is disappointing to note that the relevant authorities have failed to intervene in the matter and now appealing for intervention of President HAKAINDE HICHILEMA. The residents say 2 administrations, among them the Movement for Multi-Party Democracy (MMD) and the Patriotic Front, had been engaged in the matter, but nothing has come out, and now the residents fear they have completely lost their land.
For more than 10 years now, people of Kampasa, located in Chongwe constituency, have lived in temporary houses, which are not conducive for human habitation. This has made life for the locals hard to cope with. Kampasa village happens to be one of the oldest villages in Zambia, with an origin of 48 families in the early 80s, and now over 500 households live here. However, the village is allegedly becoming history following attempts by named individuals who have surfaced claiming ownership of the land. Some senior citizens in the area have this to say. The residents claim to have been promised the title deeds by the Movement for Multi-Party Democracy and the Patriotic Front government.
The vehicle was destroyed and was beaten severely. So, sir, our invitation. You are not the president of the people of Woodlands. You are not the people of the rich people. You are the president for the poor and even for the rich. Yes. So you can go anywhere. So, sir, we invite you, come here in Kampasa and solve this issue.
Only time can tell as of when the land will be given to the residents. Blessings Chakwila, Camnet News in Chongwe.
Residents of Lumumba district in Central Province residing near Luwili Primary School have bemoaned lack of employment opportunities in the district, stating that this has been leading to an increase in criminal illicit activities. In an interview with Camnet News, the residents lament that despite Mumbai having many gold mines, only a few people are fully employed, alleging that mine owners bring their preferred people from far-flung areas to work in the mines. The residents feel this has resulted in high poverty levels in the land rich with gold.
The International Labour Organization, ILO, indicates that unemployment is still a concern in Zambia, as a huge population of employable citizens with various skills still remain on the search. The situation is even more pronounced in districts of the country with few industries and economic activities, leading to an increase in crime. This is the situation in Lumumba district of Central Province, where most citizens of youthful age are still living in dire poverty due to limited employment opportunities. This is despite the district having many gold mines, as the residents allege that any local who gets employed in the mines is lucky, as most employees are handpicked from other parts of the country according to the preference of the employers. The aggrieved residents were speaking to Camnet News.
Then twalipokelako naba ku Tanzania abakwe bati nga twaimba fya apa nono epo tusangira go apa akulira bati bakwati amatanzania ni baye but government tapali file chitako kwe bati batupeleko na ifwe enchito tuwombe so ifwe tulesa pota kona amatanzania because nga twaimba pa nono tulesa nga kwa kanono kwe bati abana besu baleria government takuli ololodi bali tubepa tapali fichitika. So kuna I think nga bawina kula bakukona so na campaign kuno tatule ifwaya umulandi wakwe bati chachiramo opo ya ambira fye kuno takwaba improvement ya bako
tipempa kuteko batiganizireko batipase ko mbali nango kunkani yamani tisisebenza ka nchito mno mzambia mulibe then nchito zameneze mapezeka kumapezeka ati bamene bachoka kunja ndio bamene bapasa manchito so ise tifuna kuti tingaleko mwamtendere then batipase peace kuti tiziotise nisema Zambian.
They have therefore called on the Minister of Mines, Mr. Pokabuso, to urgently look into their plight, stating that this has pushed many into illegal mining.
Fuma kumumbo yonse yaba mu under Lumumba district really mine so nasango kuti ngata ukwetaka nono teti ubombe wayo new government ilando kuti corruption to push then abature bombana bena turesango kuti ma government workers then they are hindering us, they are getting yaka nono kuri ifa kuti bakwate kokaria so ni corruption yali po Zambia padi wa government banangena ba president banganeko padi bamwinyaba bamustaka
sibafunika che
sibafunika okay
very serious
siba tifuna che ma investor enango batiletele che benango.
Stakeholders have been raising concern over the state of Zambian mines, stating that locals should benefit first as the owners of the land. Zipporah Mshala, Camnet News, Lumumba district.
Minister of Health Sylvia Masevo has disclosed that the ministry is investigating and analyzing a suspected case of monkeypox in a 23-year-old female who traveled to the United States of America 2 weeks ago. The health minister says the patient is currently in isolation and specialists from the infectious diseases unit is carrying out further investigations. Ms. Masebo has assured of heightened surveillance system and announced that testing reagents of monkeypox has been procured and are expected in the country soon. Meanwhile, the health minister says a total of 14 measles and 2 rubella cases have been reported in Mushindano district of Northwestern Province. She adds that 56 new COVID-19 cases have also been recorded.
With increasing numbers of cases of monkeypox being reported in over 39 countries across the globe, 8 African countries have recorded monkeypox cases, which sends red signals to Zambia. The World Health Organization has indicated that 1,900 confirmed monkeypox cases have been recorded so far. According to the World Health Organization, WHO, as of 19th May 2022, monkeypox cases were reported. However, as Zambia continues to face various health challenges, among them COVID-19, Minister of Health Sylvia Masebo says her ministry is investigating and analyzing a suspected monkeypox case from a 23-year-old female who is suspected to have traveled to the United States of America. She says, in responding to monkeypox threats, her ministry has procured testing reagents of monkeypox, which are expected in the country in few days.
Team of infectious disease specialists is carrying out further investigations in few days. Currently, suspect samples are being analyzed from patients presenting with medical history and symptoms suggestive of what is now known about this disease. We have been investigating a suspected case of monkeypox in a 23-year-old female who traveled to the USA 2 weeks ago. She is reported to have experienced headache and an on-off fever 5 days ago. She gave a history of her having eaten pork, which she had never eaten before, 4 days prior to her return flights.
Meanwhile, the health minister says vaccination against measles in Mushindano district of Northwestern Province remains in effect, with a total of 14 confirmed measles and 2 rubella cases having been recorded in the district.
Our response efforts towards the measles outbreak in Mushindano district in Northwestern Province remain in effect, with increased testing and vaccination being carried out. To date, a total of 14 confirmed measles and 2 rubella cases have been reported in the district. The vaccination campaign has now reached an estimated 92% of the targeted 16,010 targeted children aged between 6 months and 15 years.
She says on 23rd June, Thursday, 2022, the World Health Organization will meet to assess whether the outbreak of monkeypox also constitutes a public health emergency of international concern. Of the 39 countries hit by monkeypox, 8 are African countries, which include Nigeria with 36 cases, Democratic Republic of Congo with 10, Central African Republic and Ghana with 5, Benin and Cameroon with 3 cases, while Republic of the Congo with 2 cases and Morocco with 1 case of monkeypox. Nelson Zulu for Camnet News, Lusaka.
Former Vice President Inonge Wina, who is the sister-in-law to the late Sukota Wina, has called on the current generation to build on relationships that promote justice, fairness, love, peace and inclusiveness. Speaking when she gave a vote of thanks at the church service of the late Mr. Wina, the former vice president says the older generation of the Wina did their part in fighting for freedom. She had since thanked government for the support rendered to the Wina family during the sickness and death of their beloved. Meanwhile, President HAKAINDE HICHILEMA has encouraged citizens to emulate the works of the late former cabinet minister by ensuring that coexistence is the order of the day in order to promote peace and unity in the country. Mr. Wina, who died on Wednesday last week, will be buried Tuesday at Nawinda Royal Village in Mwandi district of Western Province.
It was an emotional official funeral service for Zambia's first health minister, Sikota Wina, who died on 15th June 2022, as various government and former government officials trooped to Lusaka's Anglican Cathedral of the Holy Cross Church with heavy hearts and somber moods to bid farewell. Former Vice President Inonge Wina described the late Sikota Wina as an individual who promoted the One Zambia, One Nation motto and challenged the current crop of leaders to aim higher and contribute positively towards the country's attainment of justice and fairness.
Sikota Wina and his generation, his comrades and compatriots accomplished their mission, independence for Zambia, and are united, one Zambia, one nation. The current generation should therefore set their eyes on a higher pedestal, build on more amicable political relationships that promote justice and fairness, that promote love, that promote peace and inclusiveness.
Family members to the late Sikota Wina bid their farewell through emotional tributes.
Sorry, Father. It's not easy. This is why I think that he's left an indelible footprint all over.
It is very difficult to make a fitting tribute to a man like Mr. Sikota Wina, my father. Because these values, politicians like my father and others in the first cabinet held in high esteem, are evident now in you, Mr.
And Brigadier General Reverend Henry Matafeo, in his sermon, eulogized the late former cabinet minister for his selfless contribution to the country and for championing tribal lines which promoted love.
It does not matter which language or dialect I speak, after all, no one ever applied to be born in the families we are.
Meanwhile, Republican President HAKAINDE HICHILEMA advised the citizens to learn from the works of Mr. Wina and draw lessons from the crop of leaders where the late Wina belonged to.
The late Honorable Sikota Wina was an accomplished politician, as I've said, of his generation. And all we can do, all of us that are still alive, we can do and we should do, is to learn from this generation of leaders. There's a lot to learn from. We all learn until we are.
The late Sikota Wina was the last surviving member of the first cabinet of Dr. Kenneth Kaunda in 1964 and served as cabinet minister in the UNIP administration for over 10 years. Among other ministerial positions, Mr. Wina served as Minister of Local Government and Housing, Minister of Local Government and Prisons, as well as Minister of Information Broadcasting and Tourism. He also served as Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly under the Movement for Multi-Party Democracy (MMD) from 1991 to 1993. The late Sikota Wina will be put to rest on 21st June Tuesday, 2022 at Nawinda Royal Village in Mwandi District. Nelson Zulu for Camnet News, Lusaka.
You're watching Camnet TV Main News. We'll take our first set of commercials. We'll be back with more after this.
Team, the trajectory of the business looks very positive, and it looks like we'll be able to launch the ministry.
There's so much data.
Mom.
Yes, baby.
It says here, global warming and climate change is caused by the pollution from careless activities of human beings.
Wow!
Son, do you know I can turn my phone into a TV remote?
How's that possible?
It's so easy. Check this out.
Be smart, be fast with mega data from Zamtel. Get your 15 GB mobile data for only 100 kwacha. 30 GB mobile data for only 200 kwacha and your 70 GB LTE data bundle with free Netflix, YouTube, Facebook and WhatsApp. Visit our Facebook page, website or service centers countrywide for more information. Zamtel, your digital lifestyle partner.
On Monday, 20th June 2022, on National Matters, join Pastor Moses Chiluba as he hosts Honorable Elvis Nkandu, Minister of Youth, Sport and Arts. Don't miss as they discuss UPND 10 months of being in power.
As government through the ministry, we have demanded for a report from the service provider and we need a refund and underline, because as we are not restive and payment for expenses suffered.
Invite others to participate through phoning, on Skype, Zoom, WhatsApp and text messages.
On TSTV channel 274, GoTV channel 98 and Topstar channel 106.
Make a date with us. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Welcome back. We'll continue with the rest of the main news. The Constitutional Court has dismissed the application by Joshua Banda to stay Republican President HAKAINDE HICHILEMA's decision to fire him from the office of the judge. This is in a case in which recently fired Lusaka High Court Judge Joshua Banda has petitioned the court challenging his dismissal by the president from the office of a High Court judge. On the 6th of May 2022, President HAKAINDE HICHILEMA fired Mr. Banda for mischievous behavior in the execution of his mandate. According to the ruling by Judge Ani Setali on his application to stay the president's decision, pending determination of the main matter, the court has declined to grant him the reliefs in sought. The court states that the main case needs to be heard and determined before it can proceed to award any remedies to Mr. Banda. A police officer has told the Lusaka Magistrate Court that he made up his mind to charge and arrest opposition Patriotic Front supporter Maxwell Chongu because he failed to give him a satisfying response when he was interviewed on allegations of assaulting Richard Sinonge and Innocent Nyambe in 2017. This is in a matter in which Mr. Chongu of the PF is accused of assaulting a duo by inflicting a deep cut on their left ankle using a machete. When the matter came before Lusaka Magistrate Tandosa Chavala Monday, Detective Kenneth Mwaba said he arrested the accused after his investigations revealed that he was the one that assaulted the duo on the material day.
He has been accused of unlawful wounding someone in 2017. Opposition Patriotic Front supporter Maxwell Chungu, who was formally arrested and charged in 2021 by the police 5 years after the alleged offense is said to have occurred, is now facing a criminal charge before the Lusaka's Magistrate Court, which is still underway. The state accuses him of unlawful wounding contrary to the laws of Zambia, according to a statement issued by the police on the 4th of March 2017, Chungu allegedly unlawfully wounded Mr. Innocent Nyambe and Richard Sinonge by inflicting a deep cut on Mr. Nyambe's body using a machete. The complainants were allegedly attacked by the accused in North Mid area near Total Filling Station. Monday morning, the 20th of June 2022, the state presented Detective Kenneth Mwamba as one of the state witnesses who in his testimony said he was assigned to handle a case of unlawful wounding on the 15th of December 2021, which was reported by one of the complainant, Mr. Nyambe. The detective inspector in his further testimony said he discovered that the accused Maxwell Chungu was the one who allegedly wounded Mr. Nyambe, and he came to this conclusion after he conducted all his investigations. The state witness further told Lusaka Senior Magistrate Tandosa Chavala that he made up his mind to arrest and charge Mr. Chongo with the subject offense because he failed to give him a satisfying response when he was interviewed on allegations of assaulting Mr. Richard Sinonge and Mr. Nyambe in 2017. Trial continues on the 8th of July 2022. Miriam Kaimba reporting for Camnet TV News.
Government has reaffirmed its commitment in ensuring that the formulation of a refugee policy which will guide and inform the government on the management and protection of refugees is completed this year. Speaking during the World Refugees Day held at the Malungushi International Conference Center in Lusaka Monday, Home Affairs and Internal Security Minister Jack Mwimbu says the government is working at ensuring that durable solutions are found for both former and current refugees in the country. Meanwhile, United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees Representative Pierrine Ayalara has appealed to different stakeholders to continue supporting Zambia and invest in ongoing and longer-term development projects that improve the conditions of refugees.
Each year, on the 20th of June, the globe comes together to honor World Refugee Day. The day itself came into existence in 2000 on the 50th anniversary of the 1951 United Nations Refugee Convention regarding the status of refugees. And since then, the worldwide community has spent the day focused on ways to improve the lives of refugees. Commemorating the day, Chairman General for Refugees in Zambia stressed the need for the government to help refugees living in Zambia have proper documentation.
Challenges refugees face on a daily basis can only be resolved by one and only one item: a proper document, a recognizable document. A document that will identify refugees wherever they are, a document that will allow refugees to be self-employed, to earn a decent living and contribute to the treasury and the development of the host community, a document that will free refugees from the impoverished settlements where one good meal is a luxury to many.
And United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees representative appealed to different stakeholders to continue to support Zambia and invest in ongoing and long-term development projects that improves the conditions of refugees.
Because they are there to enforce the law. My appeal this morning to our dear peers, His Excellencies, Minister of Home Affairs, and to the head of states, is to bring together immigration and the father of the refugees, Commissioner for Refugees, to sit together and to find a solution for all the challenges that refugees. Why? Because if you read the records, over 70% of refugees are out there striving in Zambia.
Meanwhile, Home Affairs Minister Jack Mwimbu reaffirmed the government's commitment that durable solutions are found for refugees in Zambia.
Fortunately, Madam, I would like to state that both the departments, viz, Immigration and the Commission of Refugees for under my department, have heard your concerns and have listened very attentively to the issues you have raised pertaining to the plight of our brothers and sisters in Zambia. we are going to take appropriate measures to ensure the safety and plight of our brothers and sisters are addressed. As I indicated, we are all potential refugees. We have to take into account the plight of our brothers.
With the number of forcibly displaced people around the world now standing at more than 100 million, the 2022 World Refugee Day has been celebrated under the theme, The Right to Seek Asylum for Protection and Safety. The record that Zambia has set in hosting refugees is one of the perseverance and has given hope to refugees.
In other news, former nitrogen chemicals of Zambia employees who earlier protested over non-payments of benefits have thanked the Lusaka province minister, Sheo Maliata, for promising to help them secure their dues. Speaking to the media Monday morning, the former employees said life has not been easy without resources and says getting their dues will improve their lives. And Ivy Mwene, who spoke on behalf of the 100 affected employees, says they have never been paid their dues since 2018 and had engaged the previous administration over the matter but did not receive any assistance.
On 5th January 2022, Camnet News aired a story in which some nitrogen chemicals of Zambia former workers took to the streets of Lusaka to protest over the non-payment of dues by NCZ, seeking intervention from the New Dawn government.
That is an insult to us as youths, that you are just a horse. When a horse is in the race, the one who is given a medal is a human being, not a horse. So, Your Excellency, we seek your serious intervention of this matter. We want money. We were not given not even a coin, not even a 15 ngwe. The NCZ management is so stubborn. My rib was broken here. As you can see here, the bone is disconnected when I was lifting sacks, bag of fertilizers. But I was not compensated. I was never compensated for this damage. Now whenever I go somewhere, they say you can't work because you are not fit.
4 months down the line, the workers have received assurance from government through Lusaka Province Minister Sheo Maliata, promising to help the workers address the matter. Speaking with Camnet News, Liven Nkua, a former worker, says they are grateful and hopeful that they will finally be getting their benefits.
We're so happy that the minister also intervened with the issue, and she really promised that she's not going to fail the people of Kafue. Because that issue is not about a few individuals, it's about the entire Kafue. So once we are helped, it's like you help everyone in Kafue, because every person who lives in Kafue, if you don't talk about NCZ, then you don't live in Kafue. So any development in terms of youths, we seek most employment in NCZ. But what happens is the management itself is bad. So we are here mostly to thank the minister, the provincial minister.
And another worker, Ivy Mwene, says it has been challenging to make ends meet, hence getting their benefits will help them provide for their families.
So twalumba ba DC ikubonana twalumba ba DC alimu aba provincial minister batukwahilila ikutinka nei ende mukabotu twalumba mani kamba tukwahila. I think ila hokuti inga abakabotu kwasoka twapenga kwa mazuwa manji mwanji twalumba ba minister batuyiminina government ya UPND batuyiminina iwuti into amshwanga habakabotu kwapengana ko jindijila kwalumbalira inji ya kwamba.
Cherish Sibote for Camnet News, Lusaka.
Plan International Zambia says it is committed to its partnership with the government in programmatic areas covering health, education, economic empowerment, water and sanitation, child protection, and humanitarian relief. Plan International Zambia Eastern Province Program Area Manager Denise Lembani says the rights of children, especially girls, are in integral parts of the non-governmental organization's NGO programming. Speaking during the commemoration and celebration day of the African Child held in Chadiza, Dr. Lembani said the African child's parents presents an opportunity to review the status of the harmful practices affecting children in Zambia. Dr. Lembani says this can be done by highlighting the issues that the Zambian children are facing in their daily lives due to harmful practices and assess where we are towards the protection and assistance of the children who are at risk and victims of harmful practices in Africa. The African Day of the Girl Child in the district was held under the theme Eliminating Harmful Practices Affecting Children, Progress on Policy and Practice since 2013.
Monga, child trafficking, Monga, child abuse, Monga, child labor. Thanks to the new Dawn administration.
Children in Zambia continue to face human rights abuses that hinder them from developing to their full potential. Government is working with various stakeholders like Plan International to protect children locally. The commemoration of the Day of the African Child is the day to address issues affecting children in all African countries. In Chadiza district, Plan International organized the commemoration under the theme Eliminating Harmful Practices Affecting Children, Progress on Policy and Practice since 2013.
The Day of the African Child presents an opportunity to review the status of harmful practices affecting children in Zambia, highlighting the issues that the Zambian children are facing in their daily lives. To assess where we are towards the protection and assistance of children who are at risk and victims of harmful practices in Africa.
Chadiza District Administrative Officer Masao Somwale was guest of honor.
Pregnant girls are married to avoid social stigma, or girls entering adolescence are married off by their family for economic gain or to avoid financial burden. And many children engage in forms of child labor due to poverty, as their parents cannot effectively provide for them.
Joseph Ngulube gave a speech on behalf of the children in the district.
This day calls for fresh commitment towards protecting the rights of children. Indeed, it is time for us, our parents and leaders, to take action against the harmful practices such as early marriages, child abuse, child trafficking, child labor, underage beer drinking, and all those that are affecting children in Africa. When these are eliminated, as children will grow up to be responsible and take over from our parents in future.
Sylvester Chimba for Zanis in Eastern Province.
International and sports news coming through right after this.
Your skin is the biggest muscle in your body. That's why we make sure that Oracle is #1 when it comes to taking care of your precious skin. Oracle Pure Petroleum Jelly and Glycerin soothes, moisturizes and keeps your skin perfect. Oracle Pure Petroleum products for that perfect skin.
On Monday, 20th June 2022, on National Matters, join Pastor Moses Chiluba as he hosts Honorable Elvis Nkandu, Minister of Youth, Sport and Arts. Don't miss as they discuss UPND 10 months of being in power.
As government through the ministry, we have demanded for a report from the service provider, and we need a refund and underline, because as we are not wasteful, and the payment for expenses suffered.
Invite others to participate through phoning, on Skype, Zoom, WhatsApp and text messages.
On TSTV channel 274, GoTV channel 98 and Topstar channel 106.
Make a date with us. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Welcome back. We now get into our international item. Weekly protests are still persistent in Tunisia. Tunisians took part in a demonstration organized by the National Salvation Front, a coalition of opposition parties and civil society groups, to protest against the President Kais Saied and an upcoming July 25th constitutional referendum. President Kais Saied is seeking constitutional reforms, which according to him will help in curbing extremism in the North African country. In other international stories, firefighters have been battling wildfire in parts of Spain as the country faces its warmest early summer in decades. Parts of Western Europe have been experiencing extreme heat under a wave of hot air that has moved north from Africa. Temperatures in both Spain and France have broken records, putting pressure on hospitals and energy grids. Here's a roundup of international news.
Tunisians took part in a demonstration organized by the National Salvation Front, a coalition of opposition parties and civil society groups, to protest against President Kais Saied and upcoming July 25 constitutional referendum. President Kais Saied is seeking constitutional reforms, which according to him will help curb extremism in a North African country. It's not a serious plan, so we don't take it seriously. It is a masquerade. I am sure that the vast majority of Tunisians will ignore this nonsense, this masquerade. We are all here under one title, which is to stand against the coup and for the restoration of our democracy, which was betrayed by Kais Saied. This is the essence of our system. Any addition to that, from solutions and deceptions under the title of a referendum or a constitutional or elections, is meaningless. It's been almost a year since President Kais Saied sacked the government and took hold of all executive powers, arguing such measures were needed to save the country from imminent peril and fight widespread corruption. However, critics have since accused him of making a grab for one-man rule and denounced an authoritarian rule. Belgium on Monday handed over the last remains of slain Congolese leader PATRICE LUMUMBA, a tooth to his family, turning a page on a grim chapter in his colonial past. Chief Prosecutor Frederic Van Loo gave the relatives a small bright box containing the tooth in a televised ceremony and said legal action they had taken to receive the relic had delivered justice. It is not normal that the remains of one of the founding fathers of the Congolese nation were kept for 6 decades by the Belgians in obscure circumstances, never really elucidated, but what is known does not make us proud. Congo is set to hold 3 days of national mourning from 27 to 30th June in its 62nd anniversary of independence to mark the burial ceremony. The return of Patrice Emery Lumumba to his country will certainly allow the Democratic Republic of Congo to recover an essential link in its national memory. Beyond the Democratic Republic of Congo, an entire continent, Africa, is celebrating the return of one of its worthy sons. A fiery critique of Belgium's rapacious rule, Lumumba became his country's prime minister after it gained independence in 1960, but he fell out with the former colonial power in the United States and was ousted in a coup few months after taking office. He was executed on January 17, 1961, aged just 35, in the southern region of Katanga with the support of Belgian mercenaries. His body was dissolved in acid and never found.
Spain's wildfires are becoming relentless, burning thousands more hectares of land as Spain suffers through its earliest heat wave in decades. While officials say cooling temperatures have helped them tackle some of these blazes, not all regions have been so lucky. Sierra de la Culebra in northwestern Spain has seen some of the worst blazes. Entire villages have had to be evacuated, with this sports centre turned into a shelter.
I didn't want to leave if they wouldn't let me take the dogs.
We have to stay here. We don't know if the house is safe or if it's burnt down.
In the northeastern region of Navarra, firefighters fought to protect a pig farm near this blaze. And this is what's left of some of the region's forests. Scorched earth near villages in the area.
We were afraid because we saw the fire very close to the village. We saw it everywhere.
These aren't the first wildfires Spain has seen, but climate change increases the risk of the hot, dry weather that is fueling these fires. And scientists say global warming is making these extreme weather events become more severe, happen sooner than usual, and more frequently. For now, the focus is on getting a handle on the fires that are tearing through Spain's land. Azadeh Moshiri, BBC News.
We'll now get into sports news. Zambian international chess master GILLIAN says he is confident that he will bring back medals in the forthcoming Commonwealth Games scheduled for 28th July 2022. In an interview with Camnet, chess master who recently won the Minera Zimbabwe Open says he has started his training ahead of the tournament and has encouraged chess enthusiasts to come on board and support him.
To play the South Africa Open, also as part of my preparation, and I think I'm doing a lot of studying. Chess is a very good game, and all those that wish to play it should be prepared to face the downside of it and the positive side. And the positive side is what matters, because when a chess player wins a game, it means that's a success story, and there's a lot of preparation behind it. So you have to do a lot of work. So it gives you satisfaction when you win and also win a tournament.
Well, that sports item brings us to the end of Camnet TV main news. But before we go, here are the headlines once again. KAMBWILI books a night behind bars. UPND members warned against reporting cases to the police without the party's consent. And Zambia's Republican President HAKAINDE HICHILEMA re-echoes his stance on unity. In international news, Belgium hands over casket with last remains of slain Congolese leader PATRICE LUMUMBA. And in sports, Zambian international chess master BWALYA confident of bringing medals from the Commonwealth Games. Before we go, our Camnet verse of the day is coming from the book of Psalms 136, verse 7 to 9, and it reads, "To him that made great lights, for his mercy endures forever. The sun to rule by day, for his mercy endures forever. The moon and stars to rule by night, for his mercy endures forever." Thank you for watching. I am Precious Muzea Sakaleji. Pleasant viewing.